Well, I'm back. Day 2. You know, yesterday really did take it out of me. I was massaging myself with Deep Blue and with marjoram oil most of the day. Tired. I could have fallen asleep about 2 o'clock. Well, I couldn't because I had school runs to do. And then I had a business event in the evening, so yesterday was a long day, and so there's no wonder I struggled to get up this morning. And then as a knock-on effect of that, well, it had nothing to do with that, but lo and behold, today was one of those difficult mornings. And in my house, kind of my daughters were both very anxious. In fact, my eldest daughter hasn't gone to school today because she's just scared. It got me thinking, how, in the morning, how do you feel? Through the day, how do you feel? Do you take it for granted that everything's okay, or completely the opposite? Do you not feel like getting out of bed? Now, when I was growing up, I was very kind of sensitive. I noticed that, I had more feelings, and I was more in tune to my feelings that other people seemed, or certainly other men seemed, from an outside perspective, to have. And I just thought, maybe I was a bit soft. And, I've probably proved that over the time. But I don't think that's the case. I'm now starting to feel like, I was brought up in that generation where there was it wasn't cool to show your emotions as a man. Yeah, we probably all had them. So, but it wasn't good. Morning. It wasn't the done thing to do, to talk about feelings and emotions. And I feel that is probably why there's so much depression and worry, anxiety, because we've been looking at it all wrong. I mean, certainly, my dad, me and my dad had a great relationship, but growing up, certainly, I never saw him cry. And we didn't really have a relationship where we talked about our feelings, because it wasn't the done thing to do. Bloody hell, I miss my dad. But it seems like, certainly since the millennium, things have changed. And there is more thought given towards mental health and mental awareness, and I think it's progressing, but there's still a lot of work to do. I mean, let's be honest. When I was faced with Ellie having anxiety attacks, I never understood it. Part of me thought, just come on, grow up, get on with it. But when you actually live with it, you actually see the real fear behind it. You know, there are things that trigger it off, but also, like at the moment, she's having some treatment, and this treatment is making her worse than she ever was. I mean, she's actually scared of nothing, you know. There isn't a reason for her to be scared. Wow, yesterday's walk is really taking its toll on me. So this might be a shorter journey today, but I'm here, and that's the important thing. Yeah, I mean, every day she battles with anxiety, we battle with her. And it used to be an actual battle. It used to actually, you know, me and her used to wrestle, because I think there was a big case for, you know, she was growing up as a teenager, and there was a lot of anger, and so she started hitting out. Thankfully, we're not in those days anymore, and you know, we have a better understanding. We know how to kind of deal with it for the short term. Not so sure about how the long term is, but you know, we manage it little by little, and you know, the amazing thing is, something as simple as breathing makes all the difference. So, for example, this morning she had an absolute meltdown. She was screaming, she was, you know, jiggling her hands about, she was scratching, she was scared. When you ask her what she was scared of, she was scared of nothing. So I gave her some neroli oil, because, you know, that really helps her. If it's not neroli, it's normally wild orange, and you know, that helped a little bit, but we could tell this was more than the usual kind of anxiety. And so what I did, I pulled out my phone, and there was an app for breathing. See, we got that bad that we even need a phone app to tell us how to breathe. Crazy, eh? But in all seriousness, you know, this was really helpful. So you breathe, you know, it's like on a timer. So you inhale for 3 seconds, you hold it for 7, you exhale for 3, and then you sustain for 7. And you do 7 minutes and 12 seconds to calm yourself down. And the transformation in that time was immense. Oh. You know, she really did calm down. So certainly on the outside she calmed down. On the inside, she was still struggling. So she's had the day off school, but you know, there's a massive difference. So, it'll take a minute. Bit colder than yesterday. Got gloves on today, you know. I mean, that sun's doing it in, just to blind you all, you know. That sun's misleading. It's didn't realise I had to, you know, become a video editor, you know. To actually record my thoughts and feelings. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a challenging morning. This, because sandwiched on top of that, we've had Mia, you know, and I took Mia to school, and Mia's school is just back there. You know, I took Mia to school, but she has some issues, sensory issues, and anxiety issues, and things are just being investigated. Sounds like I'm at a beach. Yeah. And so, we had difficulty with her hair and a difficulty with her shoes, and she's got a lot better in the last few weeks because there's been problems getting her dressed, socks, knickers, one thing after another. So it's really kind of concerning, all three of my children have some sort of issue with their mental health, and I've had my fair share of issues for mental health. Certainly through the years, as I mentioned yesterday, I've got quite an addictive personality, and for the longest time I like to indulge with cannabis, because to be fair, and it was very much an excuse, but it did help me with my pain issues, much more than any tablets ever did, and I found it a lot more helpful, but the drawback of that was that I had a lot of issues with paranoia, overthinking, and I actually feel like now at 38 years old I've actually lost some of my childhood memories, or certainly they're not as vivid as other memories, and I do actually blame the cannabis for that, And at that time, I never ever thought I'd stop. I was, people say, about, it's not an addictive drug, but it might not be, but I think it's very much down to the personality of the person that's doing it, the mental stability. Oof. Nice surroundings today. This is Town Fields. Again, come a long way. Keep going. So, yeah, and paranoia, overthinking. I then fell into a lull of depression. I was very much all about me, very selfish. Everything was about, why does everything happen to me, and my judgments. I used to judge everybody, and I used to think I can read minds, and well, I didn't go around claiming I could read minds, but I think it's very difficult not to wonder what people are thinking, and if you do it too much, you actually get to a point where you think you're good at guessing what they're thinking, and that's certainly not the case. So as I said, I'm mentally in a better place than I've ever been, and a lot of that has been down to personal development, meditation, and the the, 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 be more for my children, for my wife, for my, just for my family. It's not. I want to help them, but to be able to help them, I need to help myself first. So, it's just ever since I started personal development, I've completely changed as a person. The hardest thing is to start, because when you're mentally in that place where you're depressed, you're anxious, paranoid, you're suicidal, when you're in that place, it's horrible, it's evil, it's almost like there's no escape. It's like, your mind can play tricks on you and you feel trapped. Same way as I felt trapped in my body, and I was feeling hopeless. And there's lots of people out there feel hopeless. People, they might not even have, chronic illness, arthritis, There's people out there who feel hopeless because they're depressed, because they're anxious, because they're addicted to some substance that they really don't, they really regret what they did, but they can't help themselves so much now. They have less self-control, and the way the world isn't helping, between social media, and TV, newspapers, it's very, very selfish, very egoic, and there isn't enough care. Certainly there isn't enough focus on care, self-care. It's not cool to do certain things. Like you say, there's a big stigma about it's going to be me one day. Yeah, I'm going to be jogging around this field one day with my beagle. And I want that to change for everybody. I certainly, my 3 children are a major reason why I'm doing any of this. Well, Beagle's running away. But it's not just about my children, it's about everybody's children. We can change. We can change. It seems like it's impossible, but nothing is impossible. I'm possible. I've come a long way. I have a long way to go. I can only talk from my own personal experiences and hope that this can help somebody, But I have been at the point where, I took too many tablets once. I had an ambulance out to me. I felt so fed up with the pain, and I wasn't even, trying to kill myself, but I nearly did, because I was, I had all these tablets, and at the end of the day, I was so out of it, I couldn't keep track of what I'd taken, what I hadn't taken. Is that really a responsible way of dealing with somebody's health? No, not just from a point of view of me taking those tablets, it's the fact that I was so easily given them. Like, I was prescribed them in a 10-minute appointment. How can you describe to somebody how you feel in 10 minutes? You can't. And so what, they kick you out with a prescription for some blooming strong, massive painkiller that's going to not take your pain away and ruin your life. I've been in that situation. I've been in a situation where I've actually taken a cord and tried to choke myself, And people, careless people, say, oh, it's a cry for help. I never told anybody about it. If you're really feeling that low, anything's possible. But I should be able to change. People care. If people care more people get looked after. More people get looked after, then happier people feel. The happier people feel, the more likely they're going to have a purpose. The more likely they're going to have like a dream, a goal, a purpose. And if they're feeling good, like I'm feeling good, we can change. We feel like we feel like we want to chase that dream and that goal because we feel good, So if you do that, then my thoughts were, well, if you feel good, you've got a goal in mind, you chase it, anything is possible. You can, surely instead of having all these people lining up at the job centre because they need to get the benefits because they can't get a job because the system's all messed up and people are depressed, people are unhappy, people are addicted to substance, people are even addicted to prescribed medications, if people are happier because they've not got these problems, then surely they're going to be more productive. And if they're more productive, then the economy can thrive. Look at me going off tangent again. Excuse me. It's true though. It's what I'm. What I want to chase. I want to chase that. I want to do more. I want to be more. I want to help more people. But I've got to help myself first. It's we live in scary times, but I feel like some of that fear is very much impressed upon us. We can get our mind right. We can calm our mind down. We can do anything. I've even forgot the point. I got myself into such a... I got on my soapbox. And... yeah. But I truly do feel like change needs to happen, and you can come back from anything with the right mindset, the right goals, the right reason why. I never thought I'd be walking around Townfields, that's for sure. You know, a lot of my rehabilitation has been natural remedies, essential oils, but also a massive part of it has been what I put in my body, my nutrition. You know, growing up, I'd only ever eat carrots and cabbage, and that was at a push. You know, I much preferred pies, pizzas and chips, not all on the same plate, but I probably would give it a go, if I'm honest. You know, it's amazing the difference that, you know, when you get all the right nutrients and all the right vitamins and minerals and everything that you need in your body, the difference it makes. I mean, within 2 weeks of taking supplements, I think it was my wife and my mum who noticed the difference. I had more energy, and you know, I started having more energy to play with the children, and that's the best thing in the world, you know, being able to do something and for my children to benefit from it, you know. Ooh. I think it's crackers that more medical care isn't about nutrition. It's absolutely bonkers, you know. But, you know, of course, then we've got, you know, all this whole thing of money. Money makes the world go round. Do you know what? My mentality to money has always been one of, don't need it, don't want it. Kind of, yeah, I have to use it because that's what makes the world tick. Everybody wants money, everyone wants, you know, and to be quite honest, you know, I've been looking at it all wrong. Money is just a resource to allow us to do bigger and better things. It's individuals' greed that makes the world go round. And that makes the world go round, you know. It's individuals' greed that makes this world what it is at the moment. You know, everybody wants things straight away, and everybody wants to do things for money. What about doing things for caring? What about doing things for the good of humanity? Having a bit of patience makes all the difference. Well, I'm coming to the end of my walk. I can feel it. I think, to be honest, I think today has been a bit easier. Maybe I won't say that at 2 o'clock, but yeah, today has been easier, I think. I think it's been better. I'll let you know tomorrow how I feel. But, you know, after doing, you know, I want to just, a few things I just want to mention, you know. So, yesterday was a massive breakthrough for me. I made a massive change in my life. Just for the fact that I'd overthought this process for so long. Overthought it. in my mind, wanted it to be perfect, and it wasn't perfect. Do you know what happened after yesterday's video? I spent all day thinking about it, thinking how I could have improved it, thinking about the mistakes I made. Well, one particular, which, I think the beginning of the video I said something along the lines of, for the best part of 9 years I've been riding around in a mobility scooter, and then I worked it all out, and it'd actually been 7 years. Do you know what? That played on my mind all day. Not only did it play on my mind, but it made me doubt myself. I just think it's absolutely crackers how the mind can play tricks on you, and the mind can stop you from achieving your full potential. So please don't stop doing what you're doing. Don't stop something because your mind says you can't do it. You can do it, and you never know what's going to come of it. I made a video not too long back in a group, and again that was a scary thing for me to do, but I did it, and I ended up meeting a girl from Canada who was actually originally from Doncaster. Hi Kate, by the way, if you're watching. And it was so crazy how, kind of she lived around the corner from us as a child. I never knew her, but there were so many similarities and we had so much to talk about. It was just like a new friend. It's like, if I hadn't made that video, I'd have never known. And, anything I do from now forward, every action I make, every action I take, and every action you take, changes your life, changes the path that you're on. And so if you feel like doing something, follow your heart and actually do it, because you can't read the future, you can't read people's minds, you don't know what's going to happen. But if you do more the things that you feel that you should do, you can't go wrong. Anyway, I'm grateful for everybody who listens to me ramble on, and I appreciate this very much. Appreciate the opportunity to do this, just to take a walk and hold myself accountable to doing it. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care now.